Okay, for this one, I'm going to be using kind of a special simplified drop D flat tuning. So all I'm going to do is just take the low E here, and I'm going to drop that to D flat or C sharp. All right, everything else I'm going to keep the same. So I'll end up with the D flat, then A, D, G, B, E. All right, so just kind of a real simple method to get down to the low D flat that we need. And it kind of makes for some interesting chord shapes. Pretty simple. Starts here with this intro and verse here, and we want this F sus2. So with this tuning here, it'll look like this, where on the low D flat we'll have the 4, then we'll have our 3A, 5 on the D, and if you incidentally hit like an open G with it, that's fine. It's just an extra G note there. And the strumming, it's just a real loose shuffling feel. Like you give a strum, a little hesitation, couple more, hesitate, couple more, hesitate there, like one, hesitate, couple more, like just something like that. Just real loose, alternating shuffling vibe. And the next spot we want to go to is this D flat major 7, and there's this like sharp 11 note in there. Basically we just lift off for the open low D flat. Then we'll zoom up here, we'll have 8 on the A, 10 on the D and the G, and then we want this 8 on the B with it. And you strum that just like we did the previous chord. Okay, we want to make sure we're hitting that note in there. Okay, I kind of just like rest my pinky on the high E just to keep that silent. If you hit the 8 on the high E with it, it's not the worst thing. It sounds okay, but don't necessarily hear that note in there. Alright, so we strum that out, and right at kind of like the last 2 beats of it, we switch to this B flat sus2, which is just coming up here, keep some of the same notes here. We got keep that 8 on the A and the 10 on the D, but we just want to come up and make this 9 on the low D flat, so we end up with just the 9, 8, and the 10 here, and it's just got a 2 hit, just alright, and then we just cycle the whole thing. Alright, and that's pretty much what's happening for the intros and the verse. A second guitar eventually comes in. It does kind of a real faint little thing in the background, nothing too wild, just like on the D string you go like 5, hold that just a moment, go 3, hesitate for a little bit, come up to the 3A, go 3D. There may be a little bit more to it here and there, but the notes are so kind of like hidden in there, it's hard to really know what's happening there, but those are kind of the ones that stand out if you want to get that going. From the chorus, we start by coming off to a big D flat here, so just the open low D flat string, go 4A, 3D, and you want to give it a strum, a couple more, and then we're going to play around with the D string here where we go, make it a 5, keeping that same open in the 4 on top here, and you give it a strum with the 5, a couple more with the 5, hit it again, and then lift off to get back to the 3. That's kind of playing around with like a D flat with the flat 5 back to the D, and go back to this E flat sus2 now, where we have 2 on the low D flat, 1 on the A, 3 on the D, hit it, a little hesitation, a couple more, alright, and then just zoom up to this F sus2, which is that same shape, just bump it up to the 4, 3, and the 5, and with this you can play with that D string a bit, where we go hit, a couple more, once again, lift off to the 3. Okay, so we went. Alright, and then the second run through, start just the same way. Go to a new spot, the B flat sus2, which we've seen, which is that 9, 8, 10. Hit it, a little hesitation, couple more. Drop back down to the F sus2 at the 4, 3, 5, and then with this one, strum it, a couple more, and then this little up, down, up on the D string where we'll lift off, have the threes. All right, go 5, 6, back down to 5. All right, so we'll play around on the D string there, and you would just go through those 2 patterns like that, and at the very end of it, we just leave off on a big D flat major 7, so the open low D flat, the 8A, 10 on the D and G. Alright, that'll carry us into the next verse. And mostly just kind of repeating those verse and chorus patterns. I'll get to the outro, kind of a new thing going on here, where we'll start at the sus2, the 4, 3, 5. Alright, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, couple muted strings, 1, 2, 3, so. Alright, and then we zoom that shape up to the A flat sus2 now, so 7, 6, 8. And with this, we strum that out about 6 times. Alright. And then we lift off, open low D, 8 on the A, 10 on the D and G for that D flat major 7. Same kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 muted strings, 1, 2, 3. Alright, and then we just take that kind of power chord shape we have there, the 8 with the 10s, and then just slide that up here. So we got the 11 with the 13s, and with this, we're keeping that low D flat open also, and it's just a 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and pretty much just cycle the first 3 chords again. Alright, and we finish every other time by, instead of taking that power chord up here, we just drop down and hit the E flat sus2 with the 2, 1, 3, and just finish that way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so just kind of that alternating ending there, and we just carry that progression all the way through the outro.